Hey, how are you today? Happy Monday, right? So, my title today for our live is Shocking Teen Revelations, or maybe not so shocking. Okay, so thinking about your own teen and their behaviors that they have, you can make that decision if they are shocking or not, so or are they boring, right? Because oftentimes we think of our teens just going along with the crowd, and we have to really keep tabs on what's going on to keep them under control. But then again, there are the teens who are very, very compliant, okay, and are actually quite boring in a way. So last week we talked about the risk taking of like running that yellow light when they knew their peers were there and were watching, and they chose to run that yellow light just to get that thrill and that, to get reinforced by, aha, I'm going to do something really dangerous. When in reality, when the peers were not there, not watching, the kids actually put their foot on the brake and slowed down and stopped for that yellow light. So it's that reward that they're getting from their peers is what's actually pushing them through to be more risk takers, right? And so we discovered that if that reward was not there, they didn't bother to take that risk. They stopped when they were supposed to stop. And there are other risks that are more positive, like for instance, if they raise their hand in class, that's a risk-taking behavior. If you raise your hand in class and you get the answer wrong, that's a risk-taking. But they're more likely to do that, to raise their hand and to take that risk. And also, just answering and really at the risk of being laughed at, right? And there's also that pro-social risk. If they come upon somebody, a student who's being bullied, they may feel inclined to step in and to save the child who's being bullied, or the teen who's being bullied, or or whatever, because that's a risk that they're taking, that the bully may turn on them. But that's a pro-social type thing. They're seeing that something is wrong, that they need to correct that's not the right behavior, the right thing that needs to be happening. And so they'll step in, more inclined to step in and protect. And so I think that's just a really, really cool. And researchers found this through their studies. They were finding that pro-social risk, and also those just taking that risk in class, the teens were willing to do that, okay? Even if there was a reward or not a reward, they were choosing those behaviors. So, hi, I'm Jean Harville, and I'm the founder of Moms of Teens, Connection and Support for Families who are raising those future leaders, right? And this is a group, if you haven't come and visited our Facebook group, go ahead and come and click in. I'm the creator of the Empowered Mom and Teens program. I don't have the exact title of it yet, but it's formulating, and that'll be opening in the fall later. And we have exciting, we're going to be talking about those proven strategies from neuroscience, and talking about what's going on in their brains, and they're developing their brains, and how we can have those heart connections with them. We can create calmness and confidence and certainty in our teens, because life at this age is crazy, right? There's so many emotional things that are going on, ups and downs, and we want to help our teens to feel that confident, and that they are, having that calmness and that certainty that they are being authentic, right? And so I've worked with moms and teens for over 30 years, and both private, public, you name it. And I've even brought up my own teens as well. I'm still in it, right? And so I wanted to just kind of share with you what I have learned and what neuroscience is telling us about the brain as well. It's really fascinating, really, really fascinating. So if you're watching me in the Facebook page, just click the like button down below. If you're watching me on the YouTube, then just click the red bell and subscribe to my channel, and click the like button as well. So, parenting our teens based on neuroscience and brain development is really fascinating. It gives us a different perspective, and understanding how we can create that life we desire by simply using the power of neuroscience to understand our own thoughts, our own emotions, our own beliefs and decisions, as well as our teens and where they're coming from. Having that full understanding of what's going on, I think really helps us to be better decision makers and parents, and also more of the the I'm forgetting my words here, but how our kids can look up to us, our teens can look up to us. Okay, so adolescents are actually very good at regulating their behaviors, because we always thought, oh, they can't regulate themselves, they're dysregulated because their brains haven't totally developed. And yes, that's true, their brains have not totally developed to maturity, but they actually are able to decide if they want to take a risk or not. Okay, and so they don't have a broken brain, they're not underdeveloped, they don't have that prefrontal cortex. They do have that, and that does not fully develop until they're older. That's true, but they also have the choice, they can make decisions, and what happens is whether they do a particular behavior or not depends on the goal. What's the goal? That determines how they choose to engage. So what are they getting out of it? Are they getting more attention out of it? Or are they getting less attention from it? Sometimes their goal is not to regulate their behaviors because the reward of the behavior is, it depends on what they get out of it. They may choose not to engage, or they may choose to engage, depending on what that goal is and what they're choosing, right? What's the value of it? And they're choosing to engage in certain behaviors. They're capable of not engaging or engaging. So they make that choice. They make that, whether they're going to do what you ask for them to do or not do what you ask for them to do, or what their peers are going to do, or what their peers are not going to do. So they do have control over deciding if they're going to follow along or not, right? That's good to know, right? So the question was asked, do parents or peers have more influence when it comes to teens' risk-taking? And you'll be happy to know it's parents. The parents are actually outweigh the influence of their peers. Okay, so that's a really good thing, right? Now we have our boring teens, not really, but it's good to know that research is finding that they are listening to their parents. The teens are more likely to go along with what their parents are telling them, especially in that risk-taking behavior, like in class. Raise your hand. Do your project this way or that way, or kind of taking those risks in their learning, and really just stepping out and showing their teachers that they are willing to learn and they want to know what's going on. Taking those risks in writing a paper, taking all those types of risks, and then also in the pro-social ways as well. Pro-social attitudes that have to do with other kids their age, and their feelings, their emotions for other people, And what's really striking is that they stick with their own attitudes more often than they go along with their parents or their peers. I don't know if you've noticed, and I've noticed this, that my teen makes up their own mind. And I will question and say, where did you come up with that idea? They came up with it themselves. It wasn't my idea or my suggestion. It wasn't their peers' ideas or suggestions. It was their own thinking. So that's the good news, that teens are independent thinkers, and they stick with what they think are positive and negative behaviors more so than they're going to go along with others. So that's a really good thing for us to know as well. So teens are adaptive. In other words, they learn from their environment, just like their ancestors in the evolutionary ancestors, and they learn from their environments. Our teens are learning from their environments now. Okay, their current environments and their perspectives. In fact, research is showing that it is our teens who are leading social movements. On a smaller scale, maybe contributing to family, helping friends, or volunteering at the local community centers. On the larger scale, they're leading climate change movements. And it's not just for the purpose of just getting into college or writing a paper. They are actually showing their brains that it's really enjoyable to participate in these life-changing activities that are within their communities, and not only maybe just the communities, but across the country, that they are really stepping out, that they are finding great meaning in these activities, that they are taking control of their future and of our society's future. So that right there, these researchers have found this to be true, and I just think that is very enlightening. And I was reading about that, and I'm like, this is the message I want to bring you today. Okay, so keep at it, keep parenting, and keep modeling what it is that we want our want our teens to see and to know and to learn. And I will talk to you all again later. Okay, bye bye. Have a great day.